Welcome back, everyone. Well, the advent of The Undertaker as World Heavyweight Champion sent the Sectarians into hiding only very briefly. They're furious at having been both suckered and embarrassed, because Manson issued a challenge for a 6-man tag against himself, Papa Shango, and the Boogeyman. I don't know who they were expecting or hoping to bait into a match, but they never even dreamed about who came knocking at their door.
And tonight in a special one-night-only performance, the Ringside Army, Eddie Gunz, Troah, Barton, and Craig NBC Block, Mr. Ringside puts the band back together again against the Sectarians. Guys, here it comes.
Greetings and blessings to all our children. We know you're out there. Listen now to the words of the Guru, our first prophet and giver of the laws, as Manson.
Greetings and blessings to all our sectarian children in the world. I've come before you tonight to expose the RWL witch hunt against us. We're done with your charlatans, your false soldiers, your paid corporate shills, like the general managers, like the Undertaker, like everyone you've thrown against us. Always paid under the table by your corporate masters.
Well, guys, I feel personally attacked.
We've challenged for a 6-man tag tonight, but we want real soldiers to fight. Men who don't need payment to soldier for you. Someone grassroots, but I know, and the children all know, you haven't got anyone willing to spill some blood for no money. Shango, Boogeyman, and I will be waiting to see what you come up with, if anything at all.
Did that dirty, soap-dodging hippie call me a corporate shill? Well now. He wants grassroots, he says, Johnny. He's about to get the grassiest grassroots he ever saw. I am deeply insulted. Of course we use our money and our power and our influence to buy hired guns. Damn right we do. Hell, that's what I was raised on. That's what I grew up learning. When I was a kid, I used to lie to the other kids in school and tell them that J.R. Ewing from Dallas was my real father.
Oh, so Kazz wants grassroots, does he? I guess the Ringside Army is before Mr. Guru's time. It didn't ever get more grassroots than Mr. Ringside, his nephew Troah Barton, and Craig NBC Block.
The faction that ran RWL in the early to mid-2000s. The Ringside Army had been referred to as making the NWO look like the Girl Scouts.
A lot of people believe that.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 735 pounds, all from New York City. Mr. Ringside, Eddie Gunz, treacherous Troah, and Craig NBC Block, the Ringside Army.
The organization so feared, even Scott Bell steered clear of them as commissioner.
I guarantee Two Shorts fled the building like his ass was on fire wearing gasoline boxers. And he didn't even use his car. Sorry, I know that was mean of me.
Now, Johnny, you know the Gunz brothers' manager at the time, Don Roy Caruso, was acquitted of those charges. No one could prove Caruso or the Gunz brothers had anything to do with Scott's car being wired to explode.
Nope.
Good thing it went off premature, but Scott's beautiful Maserati Ghibli destroyed.
Point is, people got good or bad juju depending on the Troah and their feelings about him.
Yeah, the Troah, the Ringside Army, the TRA. And there it is. Back together for the first time in years, Mr. Ringside, his nephew Troah Barton on the left, and Craig NBC Block on the right, the longest reigning ever cruiserweight champion in RWO history. Put it this way, Gary Galaxy's still got another year and a half before he can break Craig Block's record.
Guys, I was there for all of it. I just got hired here in 2003 during the MySpace era. And no bull, Eddie. Barton and NBC were as ruthless as they came. This is years before Eddie's brother El Jefe was even part of our WL. And I guess Mr. Ringside has mellowed with age and his brother's positive influence. But back in the early 2000s, this guy was Michael Corleone reborn, and Barton and Block were enforcers not to be messed with.
The TRA power base collapsed when the match committee was put together around 2012, and the guys just went their own ways, but it seems everyone knew. This reunion was definitely going to happen one day. Now it's here, and the Sectarians are about to catch a New York-style beatdown.
And I'm going to have a great time calling this matchup. Wow, what a great way to wrap up the first hour of tonight's Snow. The Ringside Army back together. Nope, get the hell out of here. Well, that's going to be the Guru, Kazz Manson, and Mr. Ringside starting us off as Walt Rothburn rings the bell. They lock it up. Kazz catches a shoulder from Mr. Ringside. Eddie Gunz with a headbutt to Kazz Manson. Kazz rounded up for a chop or another. Kazz counters. Mr. Ringside counters him. Manson whipped to the ropes. Dodges Mr. Ringside, follows that up with a couple of kicks. Mr. Ringside locked up and whipped into the referee. Disaster averted. Kazz, a set of rights, and a knee. A shot to the knee. Here's our cover. One. Only just the one. Well. Kazz Manson moves in on Troah Barton. Catches a knee to the head from Mr. Ringside. Man. What a match this is going to be. Kazz Manson into the Ringside Army corner. Here comes Troah Barton. Treacherous Troah. And oh man, here's a double team. Uncle and nephew with a double suplex to Kazz Manson. Kazz tags out quickly. Here comes Papa Shango. Troah Barton takes him down with a shoulder. Yeah, kudos to Troah. He's lost some weight. Troah Barton catches a shot to the back from Papa Shango. A headbutt to the back of the head of Troah Barton. Barton whipped halfway across town. Oh man, well, the Sectarians wanted people that weren't hired guns. I guarantee you we did not give these guys an extra dime for their performance this evening. All kinds of controversy, you guys. Now that The Undertaker's the interim champion, yeah, everybody's going, what's happening to Matt Clark? What's happening to Matt Clark? He is going to be on Rage this Monday coming up, and he's going to talk about it. And I guess we'll find out then what his spin on the thing is. Papa Shango going for a cover on Barton. 1, 2. Oh, man. Well, no doubt so far, Papa Shango channeling whatever voodoo BS he's got going and trash-talking Troah Barton while he does. A stomp to the back of Troah Barton. Papa Shango in control of Barton, and Barton on the wrong side of town here. A jawjacker to Papa Shango. Troah Barton with the hard whip to Papa Shango. Barton ducks under. Leapfrog, well, and a power slam right center ring. Beautifully done by treacherous Troah Barton. A stomp to the shoulder of Papa Shango as he beats it out of town, turns it back over to his uncle, Mr. Ringside. Mr. Ringside catches the shoulder from Papa Shango. Barton about to catch the beats of the Bodran from Papa Shango. Mr. Ringside puts the brakes on it. Don't you touch my nephew. A shoulder tackle from Papa Shango. Mr. Ringside whip to the Sectarians' corner, catches a cheap shot from Kazz Manson. And Papa Shango off the middle rope with a splash from Mr. Ringside. Here comes Kazz Manson on the tag. Kazz opens up with a series of shots to the head of Mr. Ringside, Eddie Gunz. Eddie Gunz catches a kick to the head from Kazz. And Kazz Manson, his luck is ungodly. We're going to see him do amazing stuff in this match you'd never expect to see. But right now, he's catching some blinding on the top rope from Mr. Ringside. Eddie Gunz rounds him up. Vertical suplex to the Guru. Here's a cover from Mr. Ringside. 1, 2. A near fall pretty early on in this 30-minute time limit 6-man tag team match. Another vertical suplex from Mr. Ringside. Kazz Manson in trouble. Here it comes. Craig NBC Block, the longest reigning ever Cruiserweight champion, 3.5 years. Craig Block was the man in the Cruiserweight division. And like I said before, Gary Galaxy's got a whole nother 1.5 years before he can even hope to break Craig's record. Kazz Manson with a hard right hand to NBC. He goes after Troah Barton. Charges, takes down Craig with a shoulder tackle and into a blatant choke. And you weren't going to get any polite scientific stuff here. Not in this match. Kazz Manson continuing to play chokey with NBC. There's a splash off the cover. One. But just the one. Kazz Manson going to have to do a hell of a lot more work than that. Up on the top turnbuckle. Troah Barton looks on. There's an elbow across the chest of Craig Block. Mr. Ringside comes in and breaks up the party for Kazz and saves it for NBC. There's a shoulder to Mr. Ringside from Kazz Manson. A clothesline from Kazz. Mr. Ringside counters with a kick to the head of Kazz Manson. Manson going after him again. Counter whip to the outside onto the floor on the wrong side of town in the Ringside Army's territory. Craig Block rounds him up. Kazz Manson pitched towards the ring, but no dice. Craig tags him with a couple of rights and a rib breaker on the outside as the referee continues to count. NBC makes his way back inside. Troah Barton politely giving Mr. Manson an assist up. Kazz counters with a kick. NBC goes after the Boogeyman. Craig Block locks it up with Kazz. Takes him down to the canvas center ring. Nicely done. Kazz tags in the Boogeyman for the first time. NBC rounds him up. Front cradle. Takes a walk with him across town. Hangs him up off the top rope. The Boogeyman starting off on the wrong foot right away. NBC with a knee into the arm of the Boogeyman. Boogie and Craig both missed their move on that one. Wow. The Boogeyman countered with a hip toss from Craig Block. Craig with a knee into the arm of the Boogeyman. NBC with a knee to the head. He came back briefly earlier this year during the Sweet Revenge Summer Tour. Came out with Trish Stratus when Trish was supposed to come out with somebody else that created a ruckus. But Craig's back on the scene tonight for this one-night performance with the Ringside Army. Boogeyman with a spine buster on Mr. Ringside. A clubbing overhand right as the Boogeyman beats it out of town, turns it over to Papa Shango. Shango with Eddie Gunz up over the shoulder. Hangs him up off the top rope. Papa Shango gets a hold of Gunz. Kazz with a cheap shot. Double axe handle to the back of the head from Papa Shango. And a knee driven into the canvas. And Mr. Ringside needs to get a hell away from that corner. A jaw jackal and a clothesline takes down Papa Shango, and Mr. Ringside wisely turns it over to his nephew, Troah Barton. Barton taken down by Papa Shango, going in for a quick cover. One. Well, not even one, really. Papa Shango whips Barton into the referee again. He's been lucky so far. Barton catches an elbow from Papa Shango. And here comes the Boogeyman. And here comes Mr. Ringside. Fresh partners all the way around here. Elbows to the gut of the Boogeyman from Mr. Ringside. A right, a left. A hard shot to the midsection. Boogeyman counters the whip. Mr. Ringside goes down to the floor. Kazz Manson looking on. Mr. Ringside makes his way back inside. Shoulder tackle from the Boogeyman. Boogeyman with another clothesline to Eddie Gunz. Eddie back on his feet. Kick to the midsection to the Boogeyman. Boogeyman with another clothesline. A rebound off the ropes. Running splash to Eddie Gunz. The Boogeyman in control of things right now. A clothesline might change the complexion of things here. The Boogeyman makes his way to a standing position. Mr. Ringside right there to greet him. Hangs him up by the waist off the top rope. Here's a cover, a hook of the leg, one. But no dice. Nope. Right back to square one. Double axe handle from Mr. Ringside. A stomp to the shoulder. Yeah, it's funny, I just keep thinking about Too Short. Trying to get an Uber out of here desperately. He heard the Ringside Army was here. He had to get the hell out of here. Man. Yeah, they did wield a great deal of power before the match committee was put together. Mr. Ringside laid out, battered by the Boogeyman as Papa Shango comes in to take over for the Sectarians. Drives a knee into the canvas on Mr. Ringside, who rolls to the outside floor. And he's got to be in a lot of pain. Boogeyman, watching as Papa Shango gouges the face of Mr. Ringside. Kazz Manson, no doubt enjoying that too. Oh, man, Papa Shango. Hope he doesn't spin any green mist tonight. Hard shots to the head from Mr. Ringside as the ref continues to count. Well, Mr. Ringside says that's not my problem anymore. He goes after the Boogeyman. Drapes him over the top rope, tags him with a right to the back. He's going after Kazz too. Kazz catches a right from Mr. Ringside, catches another. Mr. Ringside returns his attention to Papa Shango and hard shot to the midsection. Gunz into a power slam from Papa Shango. Boogeyman's laid out, but here's a cover from Papa Shango. One. Again, no. What a match this has been so far. But so far, the edge has gone to the Ringside Army. Hard shots to the midsection from Mr. Ringside. Another one for emphasis. The exclamation point on the sentence there. A shot right to the noggin of Papa Shango. And a Russian leg sweep completes the dish. Here comes NBC. Greg Block, longest reigning ever cruiserweight champion in the history of the RWL. All the way up off the top. Oh, misses with the leg drop. Papa Shango a step too fast on that one. NBC up over the shoulder in the fireman's carry. Papa Shango takes him across the ring, head first into the turnbuckle, and down he goes. Papa Shango steps back in after a reset. Craig tags him with a shot to the back, whips him to the ropes. Craig Block makes the duck under. Hits and sinking knee to the gut. NBC covers center ring. One. Just the one. Papa Shango, man. What keeps that sucker going? Knee to the head from NBC, followed up with a stomp. NBC decides, no, I'm not going to tag out. I'm going to do some more. Okay, well, quick takedown from NBC in the middle of the ring, winds up the legs. A surfboard, a cloverleaf, and a stomp to the back of the head, all in one. Lovely combination. Here's a cover from Craig, but the Boogeyman right there to break the party up again. Saving the match for the damn Sectarians, Johnny. Yeah, I know. Craig winds it up this time into a sharpshooter center ring. This time Kazz Manson steps in. Kazz narrowly misses a shot from Craig. Boogeyman with a cheap shot to NBC. NBC goes after Kazz anyway. Takes himself out onto the apron and slams Kazz Manson into the lip of the apron. Papa Shango back up to a standing position. Goes after Mr. Ringside. Craig tags him with a clothesline, a quick one. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Wait, shut up. This one is all over. The Ringside Army wins it.
The time, 14 minutes and 45 seconds. And your winners by pinfall. Ringside Army.
Well, cut off my junk and call me Stumpy, the Ringside Army, back from beyond to take out the Sectarians in spectacular fashion. Wow, what a match, what a night we've had so far on Snarl. We've still got a whole another hour to go, and we hope you'll be back for the second half when we return right after the break. Hope to see you there.